Jesus told a short parable to the religious leaders. There was a man who had 2 sons. He went to the first and said, "Son, go and work in the vineyard today." The son answered, "I will not." But later he changed his mind and went. Then the father went to the second son and said the same thing. The son answered, "I will, sir." But he did not go. Which of the 2 did the will of his father? The religious leaders answered, "The first." Jesus looked at them and said, "Truly I tell you, the tax collectors and the prostitutes are entering the kingdom of God ahead of you." Imagine the shock. He told the most respectable men in the country that the most despised people in the country would arrive in heaven before they did. Why? Because the tax collectors and prostitutes were like the first son. They had said no to God their whole lives, but eventually they repented, turned around, and went to work in the vineyard. The religious leaders were like the second son. They had said all the right words, made all the right promises, sang all the right songs, but they never actually went. Their obedience was lip service. This is one of the most piercing stories Jesus ever told. He is not impressed with your church attendance if your life still says no. He is not impressed with your "I will, sir," if you never actually go. And he is not finished with the rebellious son just because he said no in the past. As long as that son turns and goes, there is hope. Maybe you have been saying yes with your mouth, but no with your life. Maybe you have been quietly drifting from the very things you publicly affirm. Maybe you say you trust him, but live as though he is not real. Or maybe you feel like the rebellious son today. You have said no for years. You have walked away. You have told God to leave you alone. Hear this. The Father is still watching the vineyard gate. As long as you turn and go, you are still the son who did the will of his Father. Words are cheap. Going is costly, but going is what counts.